Oh boy,
what?
is it rough.
I haven't even heard people talk about this show. You're the first person I've heard talk about it.
Jay was the first person I heard talk about it, and he's still the only person I've heard talk about it.
It's very rough.
Mari Krambu Weebs. My name is Cole. His name is Mike. His name is Jay. We like anime, and this is episode 36 of the Anime Protagonist Podcast. And on this week's episode, we are going to touch on the Crunchyroll Awards, how the NBA is full of weebs, and that there's a new Psycho-Pass movie coming out. And of course, our main topic this week is our mid-season check-in. But before we get into any of that, Michael, what's on your mind?
Habits.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. No, I started listening. Yeah, I started listening to an audiobook called Atomic Habits. It's a really popular self-improvement book that came out in the last couple of years. Basically, the whole idea of it is atomic means like very small pieces that make up bigger things, right?
Right.
And habits, everybody knows what that is, right? So the idea is you make extremely small changes to your life, and it improves your life as a whole by quite a bit. They got the inspiration for this book by, there was in the, I think the 90s, there was a cycling team where basically they said, listen guys, everybody here just tries to go like make their athletes stronger or make their bikes lighter, blah, blah, blah. What if we just improved every single part of cycling by 0.5% to 1%? And then it all adds up to a 50% improvement overall in their performance. Yeah. So they did that, and they basically proved that it works. And so this guy wrote a book based on basically saying you can take small parts of your life, say you improve how you make coffee every day 1%, and then you improve your drive to work every day by 1%. And then in the end of the thing, you're living a much better life because those compound. It's just super interesting.
Yeah, that does sound very interesting.
Because I'm a horrible person. Speaking of horrible people, Jay, what's on your mind?
Are you calling me a horrible person?
No.
It's just
no.
It's unrelated.
Segue. Yeah, segue.
All right. Well, what is on my mind? I have been playing Pokemon Heart Gold again, and just around the Elite Four, grinding up my team for that, and that's been a lot of fun.
Quick team check.
Team check. We got Typhlosion. We got Yanmega. We got Jinx. We got I'm trying to remember my team here. Pupitar. We got
Pupitar.
Politoed, and we got Ampharos.
Nice. Okay, so despite Cole's ridiculous comment there, who's so far the MVP of your team, would you say?
MVP of my team, probably Ampharos, just like really putting in the work. I have this, my strat right now is I have a weather team, so every Pokemon has like a weather move, and then, so like Jinx has Hail and also Blizzard, so Blizzard always hits.
Nice.
Or like Politoed has Rain Dance, and then Ampharos has Thunder. So it always hits. Yeah.
It's funny when if you use like any semblance of strategy in Pokemon games other than this move has the highest attack power, I will use that one. They're just like so ridiculously easy.
Yeah, like the game, it's so easy, but like it's so much fun just like coming up with different strategies in Pokemon because, you know, when you're younger, your thought is, ooh, this Pokemon looks cool, I'm going to use it, rather than what moves does it have? What are its stats like? What, and that kind of thing. So it's a lot of fun to actually be thinking about, okay, what am I going to do? How are my teams going to look and all that? So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then aside from that, I started a new light novel called The Bride of Demise, and it's very cool. It's another Battle Academy story, but it's more of like a dark fantasy where like 80% of the world is extinct, and there's only like a small amount of people fighting back against these monster-like things, and an even smaller subset of these people are forming contractual bonds with some of these monsters to fight back against the rest of the monsters. It's a very interesting concept that is very, I'd say rather common, but it's done really neatly. So I'm enjoying it so far, but we'll have to see. Speaking of things we'll have to see, Cole, what's on your mind?
You can't see me because this is a podcast, but you can hear me talk about Mario Kart, because Mario Kart's what's on my mind this week. I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart again.
Have you been playing the new courses?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Nice. Which one's your favorite?
Well, I mean, of the new ones?
Yeah.
Probably Waluigi Pinball.
Yeah.
Nice.
Get some good drifts on that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice long drifts. You call me DK.
We call you DK for what? Donkey Kong?
Drift King?
Drift King.
Oh, Drift King.
Yeah.
You are the Drift King.
I am
my
the
favorite
Drift
course. King. My favorite course in that one is Jabba the Hutt's belly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I like
you're
that
racing on Jabba the Hutt's belly.
Yeah, that's a good course.
Yeah.
That's also
Star
my
Wars,
favorite course.
like Star Wars Racer?
No.
Is that a
Mario
real course?
I don't know.
Mario Kart.
It just sounds like something that they'd make for Star Wars Racer or some dumb
you're
game
racing
like that.
down the folds.
No, it's good. I am rusty. I am rusty AF at Mario Kart though.
I know the feeling.
Bouncing into walls and stuff. But I'm getting it back. I'm getting it back, boys.
Nice.
We should
slowly but surely.
We should play together one day.
We should.
You guys can just destroy me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fun part.
That's just how it is. Yeah. That's the fun part.
Yeah,
Are you as good as that one speedrunner that I sent to our Discord that one time? By the way, join our Discord, link in the description.
There it is. There's the plug.
There it is. There's the
probably
plug.
not. Probably not.
No, the one who's like, he's at times drifting while having only one tire still on the track on Rainbow Road or whatever.
That's insane. When people do stuff like that, it's like, how?
Get real.
It's the meta, right? Like they're just breaking the mechanics of the game and doing
They
it
just
to their
know
advantage.
exactly where like the hitbox is on the cart. Yeah.
It's absolutely insane how meticulous they are at figuring that shit out.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, that's what's on my mind. You know what else is on my mind?
What?
What's
my
that?
random fact
Ooh.
of the day. Of the week?
Of the week.
Of the week. Let's go with of the week. Boys and listeners, did you all know that the guillotine was last used in an execution for the last time in 1977? That's the same year Star Wars was released.
What?
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
Segue.
Was it used in Star Wars?
Have you not seen Star Wars, Jay?
I have, but that would have been a much better segue.
You're asking to get strapped to the chair again if you haven't seen Star Wars.
No, put to the guillotine, to the guillotine.
Not the chair again. The duct tape chair. Anyway, that's my fact for the day. What do you guys say we go to the news?
No.
Can you hear my heartbeat?
Jay,
I can't remember the lyrics.
This is the
Welcome
weekly
to the
point.
news.
Okay.
This is the point where we remind Jay that
He's first.
his news story is the first one.
Yes, I am the first one. Welcome to the news. We have a great set of news, but our top story this week, Crunchyroll's Anime Awards will take place in Japan in 2023.
Whoa.
They announced on Tuesday, August 16th, that their Anime Awards will be held at Grand Prince Hotel, New Takanawa in Japan on Saturday, March 4th. They promise to bring studios, creators, musicians, and animators, musicians and voice actors behind the community. Yeah, I don't know why I wrote musicians twice in the doc,
studios,
but that really
creators,
musicians, and voice actors behind the community's favorite anime, movies, and music in a unique form. Crunchyroll's president Rahul Purini commented on the announcement, saying, "There is no better place to celebrate the Anime Awards than the birthplace of anime itself. Anime is a rich storytelling medium capturing the hearts and minds of fans all over the world. We can't wait to showcase how much love the global anime fanbase has for the studios, creators, and our trusted partners behind anime. Nominees and voting will open early next year, and more information is set to come on Crunchyroll's official website and social media platforms. So stay tuned there for more news on the Anime Awards."
That's pretty hype.
Boy. Yeah.
Just
last year's Anime Awards were pretty lackluster.
pretty lame. Yeah.
Yeah. Good old COVID.
Yeah.
Someone sent a picture in our Discord actually too of the room that they're planning on hosting it in. I don't know how they got this picture, by the way, but
They probably just Googled the venue.
Yeah. It's actually like surprisisingly big. I thought it looks like it's going to be an actual like award show.
Yeah, you know what? Last year they got like 16.9 million votes for nominees and across like 40 anime studios. and across 8 streaming platforms. So like they're probably looking to top that because last year, like you said, was so lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the excitement of the potential actual awards acceptance speeches by these people, like that's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That'll be good.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are fun, Mike, I think you have a fun piece of news.
I have such a fun piece of news. Guys, before I read this, do you guys have any idea who Zion Williamson is?
Never heard of him.
I am aware of his existence.
Yeah, number 1 overall draft pick. Has been touted since like he was a very young lad. But anyway, he plays in the NBA. He is a power forward for the New Orleans Pelicans. And he recently attended Comic-Con International in San Diego as part of a collaboration between Viz Media and the Jordan brand to promote his Naruto-themed sneakers and apparel. He took the stage while wearing a Hokage robe and the Naruto headband, so you could tell he meant business.
Mm-hmm.
During his time on the stage...
Dressed to the nines.
Yeah, he was dressed to the nines. Well, actually, this is actually in his interview with GQ. Which it's weird that we have an article from GQ in our news this week. Usually, it's not what we're used to here.
Yeah.
Yeah. He estimates that around 80% of the players in the NBA right now are into anime, and they just won't admit it. That's a pretty high number.
Mm-hmm.
He also spoke extensively in this interview about how Naruto has helped him bounce back from serious injury and deal with mental pressure, as well as man, I wrote this really badly. But yeah, he kind of talked about how like the training arc in particular, when he got a pretty bad injury, and then he used like the training arcs in Naruto to kind of like help him hype himself back up and like get through his rehab by thinking, okay, I'm just training. This is my training arc, man. I just got to get going for it. And I don't know. I feel like I relate with that a little bit. I've definitely done that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's also just generally cool that like a big athlete like this is a weeb.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
Going mainstream, man.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's like been lots of celebrations and stuff in like the NFL and all that, where like I think famously there's quite a few Dragon Ball ones, and I think in the Olympics last year, didn't someone do like the Luffy?
There were a ton of people
and stuff.
Yeah, there were a ton of people doing anime poses at the Olympics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then wasn't there like that NFL video that was like
we covered
dressed
it
to the
in
nines
pod.
with anime? Yeah.
It was just straight up an anime trailer, basically, but for
a
season. Yeah. Anyway, Zion also was on stage and people were asking him questions, during which he dropped full multi-line quotes from the show, never paraphrasing even for a second. Basically,
that was really cool.
Second.
Basically, like people would ask him stuff and he'd like respond with a quote, and like it'd be the exact quote, and it'd be like a lengthy one, which is something a friend of mine can always do, and it's just very impressive to see.
Like a weeb.
Yeah, well, his is usually Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, but yeah.
Is it Cole?
No, it's Matthew.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, he also at one point was asked to come up with a trivia question for the fans, and he was very proud apparently that he came up with a trivia question that was so hard that like several people basically like when they came up and he asked them the trivia question, they kind of were like, I don't know the answer to that. So obviously it was a deep enough cut to stump
That's
people.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I had a feeling Jay would get a kick out of that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone also asked him his starting 5 team. In basketball, you start 5 players of Naruto characters and who they would be. And I know you guys were wondering this, is why I included this in the article here. They would be Naruto, Itachi, Jiraiya. It says Minaro here. I'm pretty sure they mean Minato. And the first Hokage, I can't remember his name right now, Senju something. Anyway, he thinks that the first Hokage reminds him the most of Michael Jordan. And I also included a picture of the shoes here, and it's kind of interesting. He used the inspiration for the shoes are not exactly what you'd think. Like one is Sage Mode Naruto. That's kind of normie
Standard.
pick. Yeah. The second one he picked, a little less normie. He picked the form of Naruto when he goes like what I call demon form, but I think it's called Four Tails.
Yeah.
It's like what he fought. It's what he beat up Jiraiya with, and then also beat up Orochimaru later on with.
Yeah. That's the best looking shoe, though. I like that.
Yeah, that one looks really
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
It's like black and red. I also like the last one too, which is based on the Sage of the Six Paths, which is like that's a random cut.
That is a pretty deep cut.
Yeah.
I will say though, as normie as it is, the Sage Mode shoes do look really good.
They all look really good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, orange shoes, man.
Orange shoes.
Orange and yellow.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Underrated.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, that's basically all I got. All there is to this one. Oh, what were you going to say, Cole?
Oh, I was just gonna say I like them. I think I might pick up a pair of these. To be
Yeah,
honest,
I don't think they're that
you know me. I
expensive
like
either.
sneakers.
You do like sneakers, and
You
you
do like sneakers.
fancy sneakers. Are you gonna get the red and black ones though?
I don't know. Honestly, Jay might be right. Those orange ones are kind of
Right? They
Kinda
are
hype,
snazzy.
yeah.
They are pretty snazzy.
black and red's cool, sure, but like those orange ones, those make a statement.
I feel like
Right?
I feel like if you get black and red shoes, people are expecting violence out of you, and I don't think you're ready for that.
No,
Yeah.
See,
no.
so
Orange.
those are the-
I'm a fun guy. I got
Yeah, you're a
orange
fun
shoes,
guy.
The black
Bla-
and red ones are the ones I get when I'm in my emo phase.
Yeah,
which is always.
always.
Which is
Jay.
always, yeah. Yeah,
So-
exactly. So that's
Okay.
why I'd buy those ones.
Okay. I'm just gonna put it out there. There's 3 of us. There's 3 pairs of shoes.
Yeah,
Cole,
yeah.
you're getting the yellow ones.
I think I'd go with the Sage Mode Naruto ones. Those are hype. Yeah,
Okay.
I like them.
Since you're the number 1 host, you get your first pick. Jay,
Thank you.
I'll surrender the second pick to you. Which shoes are you picking? The white or the black?
Black and red. Black and red.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then I am stuck with the white and black ones, which are also very nice.
Those are
They are
nice. I like
yeah,
them.
I wasn't
Yeah.
you're
Wear-
stuck with them.
Yeah, no, I'm just being a bum. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to buy these now. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to have to cycle
Contractually,
pass on them.
contractually obligated to buy them.
Yes.
We'll use the earnings from the podcast to buy them.
Exactly.
Ooh,
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jay,
Cool,
you
tell us
dropped
about
a
your
really
news.
good. Jay, you dropped a really good segue, and I'm sorry, but
Oh.
we had to keep
It's
talking
okay.
about these shoes over it.
Yeah, it's all right, it's all
Anyway,
right.
Psycho Pass is commemorating its 10-year anniversary with a new movie. I took this one obviously because I love Psycho Pass. Ahead of the franchise's 10th anniversary in October, the Psycho Pass special live stream program announced a new anime movie, and it's going to be called Psycho Pass Providence. They also revealed a teaser visual. Naoshi Shiotani is returning to direct the movie at Production IG, and Toho Visual Entertainment is in charge of the distribution. They haven't released an actual release date, so once we hear about that, you'll hear about it on Anipro News.
Have
We
they
do the drop.
released?
No, don't do the drop. Don't do the drop.
I'm not doing the drop. Have they? Jay's just always trying to derail us with audio-based hijinks. What have they released
wacky.
anything about this at all? Like other than
At
just
this
it
point-
exists?
At this point, no. There was some other news about the radio play going back on the air, but like we don't get that, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty hyped. I like the Psycho Pass movies. Psycho Pass is hit or miss, though. I will give people that. The first season is obviously the best. The first movie is pretty good, and then it kind of just peters out. But
yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's interesting. Psycho Pass is always interesting.
Yeah, that's,
have
that's
either
worth
of you
watching at least
seen-
for that then.
Psycho Pass?
Just the first season.
Jay?
I plead the fifth.
You can say no, it's fine.
No, I haven't.
How
honestly,
dare you! How dare you!
I can feel myself getting strapped to the chair again.
Yeah.
I have it on
So,
Blu-ray.
As Cole just holds up duct tape.
Yeah. You know what this is for.
Yep,
Jay,
yep.
it's time. It's
It's
time
time,
for
I
your
know.
game corner. Now
time.
play that.
Welcome to the Game Corner.
I'm not going to play games with you this week. We don't have any news, so let's go to the mailbag.
It's time for the mailbag. Welcome to the mailbag. That was a good game corner we just had.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
my god, that was
the most
stacked.
riveting game
Best-
corner in weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
best one yet. Jay's
It's
gonna kill
week
both
2
of,
of
us.
Tease Jade
Yeah.
week.
We're just gonna tease him until he breaks and just murders both of us.
Yeah.
Or
well,
quits.
that's why
No,
we're dollar in the jar, dollar in the jar. Yep.
We
I
have
didn't
a
say
jar.
I was quitting. I said until I quit.
Oh, true. For
Any
the listeners, we
reference.
have a jar. Every time one of us threatens to quit the podcast, we have to put $1 Canadian in it.
AKA a loony.
A loony.
Yeah. Anyway, what's in the mailbag?
Well, we got 2 things in the mailbag this week. We got a vintage entry from Kratos. What is an activity that you guys wish/think would be fun to do at a convention with our fellow weebs? They specified icon. For an example, like best boy panel or something like that. Just some kind of like panel that we think would be fun to do at a con.
Yeah.
Right. I actually saw this question and I thought of a cool idea. What if we asked people to submit 2 characters to fight against each other, and then we do the classic football stadium battle?
But we decide their fate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea, actually.
That is a good idea.
We should write that down.
Right down in the list.
We should put that in the doc.
Yeah. The one I thought of was Akinator, and have people submit characters, and they'd be the ones answering the questions, and we'd have to guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they'd have to serve as Akinator, basically?
So, no, they'd serve as the one answering the questions, and then Akinator,
yes, we'd be Akinator.
Yes.
Gotcha.
We'd be Akinator and also guessing.
Yeah.
Right.
First thing that came to my mind would be like a full hour-long musical production where we all have singing roles. I think that's probably the best move.
I like it. Jay is the only one on the podcast who has sung.
It's true.
So Jay is obviously taking the lead on this one.
Oh, God.
You know what? Actually, Cole, you might be the only one that hasn't sung, because I think I sung...
You did do Encanto.
I'd sung the Encanto song.
Yep.
Oh.
You're
okay, well,
doing Encanto.
Let me put that to end right now, okay?
To rest.
Here we go.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Wow,
actually,
yeah.
I'm actually pretty
Cole, what the
impressed.
heck?
Yeah,
Wow.
thank you.
You were holding back on us?
Yeah, what the
I'm
heck?
sorry.
You should sing more.
You had those pipes in you this whole time?
Well, not anymore.
Oh,
now my
they're gone
throat
now.
hurts. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, we have a second mailbag that we can quickly jump to here from a member of our Discord as well. Please submit mailbags in our Discord. It's easy to keep track of them there. That's usually the first place we go to look for them, but you can also message us anywhere and submit a mailbag. Anywhere.
Either comment
Twitter,
on
Instagram, YouTube,
Twitter,
etc.
Instagram, TikTok. We have a TikTok now. Go follow us on TikTok.
We do have a TikTok. That is new.
That is very new.
Yes.
They want to know, weed. I don't know what else to call them. I feel weird just saying weed, but that's what they want to be known as.
Weed.
They asked us, season 2 of Skate the Infinity was recently confirmed. They asked us that.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts on predictions?
Correct.
Any thoughts or predictions on that? Big smiley face.
Big
So
old
I'm going to just turn
smiley
this.
face.
I'm going to turn the mic over to you guys and tell me your thoughts and predictions for season 2 of Skate.
Boy, there sure are a lot of skateboards and Canadians in this one, isn't there, Jay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna skate to infinity and beyond.
They're gonna skate their way right into the free public hospital to get their broken bones reset.
We're
free.
gonna get a cameo in the dub by Tony Hawk.
Oh,
That's right.
That would be awesome.
In the dub, he would just be in the regular one, coming in saying his lines.
That's true.
True. That is true.
Just so everyone is clear, Jay and I are the two who haven't watched Skate the Infinity. Michael, you're the only one who has actually watched the show.
Yes, as
so
the resident
please,
guy, as a resident host on the podcast who watches the boys love type shows, I will give my thoughts on this one. And I really enjoyed the first season a lot. It was charming and funny and like surprisingly good, to the point where like people at my work actually have spoken to me about it, which is usually like my bar for like if something's like normie and good, people at work are talking about it to me. And yeah, people at work had watched this and they enjoyed it. So I highly recommend the first season if people are listening to this and you haven't watched it. And again, like I said earlier, or I said before, the dub on this one is actually really good too. There's a lot of good lines that they changed to the English to make sense in like English, lots of jokes and stuff that are definitely worth listening to if you are willing to put up with the dub. Season 2, I don't know where they go with it. I'm just going to assume basically what Cole and Jay said, more skateboarding, more zany antics.
Tony Hawk?
Maybe Tony Hawk. That'd be
Let's
pretty
go.
cool.
Sounds fun.
Honestly, that would be very cool.
Hopefully less hitting people in the face with a skateboard while pummeling down a hill, because that feels not great.
Yeah, that sounds
I don't know.
There's a
that
character
sounds pretty fun.
There's a character in the show who like his signature move is he jumps off his skateboard and smashes the other opponent in the face with his skateboard while he's like moving down a hill at like 50 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. What else would you do?
It doesn't have to make sense. It's just
No,
pretty
but
cool.
like that's what you do on a skateboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I do on a skateboard, and then I fall down on my
And hurt
butt.
yourself and go to the hospital.
And then I go to the hospital
Yeah.
for free.
For free.
Yes. Anyway, I think that's all of the mailbag questions, which brings us to our question for you, the listener. Our weekly question this week is, what's your favorite anime of summer 22 so far? This relates to the main topic that we're doing this week, which is, just for everyone's reminder, we're talking about our mid-season check-ins.
Mid-season chicken.
Mid-season clucker.
Yes, let's do that. But first, let's go to an break.
Anime, a medium slowly growing in popularity. Summer, a season that every high schooler looks forward to. Let's put them together and you get Summer 2022. Welcome back to the Anime Protagonist Podcast. Are you sitting on your hands looking for which new anime to watch and which anime to avoid? Never fear, Anipro is here to give you just that. We've got a couple of shows that we had in our draft. You can go watch that. Come back here and you'll know what we've drafted, and we're just here to give you updates on the shows that we liked and the shows that we didn't like.
Oh, Jay, do you have opinions on some of these shows?
Yeah.
You said that pretty
ominously.
Did you not like all your shows that you picked? Are they not all hidden gems?
No, they're all bangers actually.
Oh, nice.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Nice. I appreciated the middle school project reintro. It was good.
Yeah.
Summer.
Yeah, I whipped that up in like 5 minutes.
Together. Good.
Together they are summer anime.
Yes.
I told you it was stupid.
That's okay. They're all of our reintros are stupid.
Not mine.
I was
one.
writing it, I honestly, I was just kind of scrambling to write a reintro, and I was like, sure, let's middle school intro this. Go.
Yeah. Solid. I liked it. It was good.
It worked.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But we've got a ton of anime to talk about, and only so much time. So let's get right into it, boys.
Jay, you will start us off as the person who is the most degenerate and watches the most anime.
And one thing I don't think Jay mentioned is that we are going to save the best for last. We're going to end on our previous anime of the season pick.
Yes. What we predicted would be anime of the season.
Yes.
So make sure you stick around to the end.
Yes, and then perhaps we'll change our picks for anime of the season. Ooh. Everyone's waiting on bated breath now. Jay, go.
My first show from my draft pick for this season was My Stepmom's Daughter Is My Ex. Have either of you guys seen this show?
I have not.
No? Okay.
No.
So I'll give you the basic premise, and then we can talk about it a little bit. So, I
think it's all in the title, Jay.
Yeah, basically.
This is the one that I said is basically Domestic Girlfriend, except less pervy somehow, right? You said?
Yeah.
Like, kind of, but it plays off more like Kaguya Light, which is a bit weird, where they're trying to get each other to not be sibling-esque, I guess.
Oh, I thought the thing was they needed to get the other one to call them brother or sister.
So that was the punishment if they acted non-sibling-esque.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't decide which one was the older sibling, because they were born on the same day.
I feel like there's this little thing called minutes that could factor into that.
But
we were
funny
born on the exact same moment.
They talk about that, and one of them makes the argument that in feudal Japan, the person the twin who comes out first is considered the older sibling, or the one who comes out second.
Okay. That's strange.
And it's a very convoluted explanation, but sure, let's go with it.
Yeah, that does sound pretty convoluted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay, is the anime good?
It's fine. As someone who's read the light novel and like thinks it's fine, it's fine. If you like, if you start watching this show, you know what you're in for, and that's just kind of what it is. And I think that that's going to be a running theme for my list. But
I have a feeling, yeah.
Yeah, if you know what you're in for, and if you want like cute rom-com vibes, but also like weird Oni-chan fetish kind of thing, this is what you're going to be watching this season. But aside from that, maybe like if you want some Kaguya vibes, then like watch an episode or two. But
I did see some highlights from this one, actually. I think they were kicking around on Twitter or Instagram or something. And by the way, follow our Twitter and Instagram at Anipro Pod. They
Nice
were
plug.
pretty funny that I saw, actually. Like there was one where it was something about she's spelling his boxers and he has
Yes.
her bra or something.
yes, so they come across each other's like clothing. Like one comes across the other's boxers and the other comes
Well,
across
they're
their bra.
Brother and
they
sister live
like
together, that'll happen,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and like they end up panicking and taking them back to their respective rooms, and it becomes this whole ordeal of like trying to sneakily return it to the laundry room. But no, it does have its good moments, but it's just if you're expecting Domestic Girlfriend, it's definitely not that.
It did feel more Kaguya-sama with
Yeah.
like a touch more, like way less quality and like
Yeah.
less, more etchy, I guess is the word I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
I'd say it's Kaguya light, like very light.
So do you recommend people watch this one at this point? This is a keep or drop.
I would say give it one episode.
And then you'll know.
If you understand, like if you like what you've seen in the first episode, then you know what you're in for. If you don't, then there's no reason to keep watching.
Okay.
Who's next?
That would be me, and I'm going to be
Mike-
talking about a little anime that I know neither of you have watched called Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I've watched one episode of this anime, and spoiler alert, I have
Yeah.
no desire to watch another.
I know exactly how you feel because I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
you did
is-
watch it.
Yeah, I watched
Jay.
episode
Oh.
1. I did
Oh,
watch
okay.
episode 1.
How about that animation quality, Jay?
Oh my god, it's awful.
It looks like a PowerPoint at times. It's like,
Is it
what's
really?
happening? Oh, it's brutal.
It's so bad. And the funny
Some-
thing is like so many people who have read the manga love it. So I feel bad for the people who like the manga and aren't getting a good adaptation.
Yeah. It seems like it could have been good, and then they just didn't do that.
They
I
just did
guess.
it dirty, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because there are like bits where I feel like the comedy could have landed, like, but it just seems like they just put something out there. People will watch it. It's fine, and then like and then I'm watching it. I'm like, what is happening? This is not great. Maybe it
they
gets
could've-
better as it
so
goes on.
insane. Yeah.
They could have
But-
made it good, but then they didn't. As if that's like, listen, you could have done a good job, but then you
I don't
just
know.
didn't do a
Sometimes
good
that
job.
does. I feel like that does happen. But like I've been usually what I do is I monitor the AniList scores as it goes, like just kind of see what people are thinking as if it's worth picking up or if it's fallen off. This one debuted at like a 60% score, and it's only gone down. So
Oh my goodness.
do with that
Yeah.
what you will. It was at like 51 as of recording or something.
On Annie list?
Yeah, it's rough.
Wow.
This is I might have to watch another episode or two just to like. This is
See
like
what's so
historic
bad
level
about it?
bad. Yeah, like that's really
Yeah.
bad.
That is rough.
That's terrible.
So yeah, really, I'm saying there is no reason for anyone to watch this. Don't bother. You've wasted your time. I've wasted my 25 minutes watching an episode.
Me too.
Honestly, Michael, you've kind of pitched me to watch it just because I want to see.
Watch one
just-
episode. Just watch
Yeah,
one
for-
episode, just for the memes.
Like in a clinical sense. Like I just want to
like,
watch
like,
it.
like watching The Room, right?
Like all those doctors gathered around the Elephant Man. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, interesting.
Like there's this one gag in the beginning of it where like, so he's like sleeping, and then all of a sudden this like I forget what it is. It's a lizard. Yeah,
It's a lizard, yeah.
It's a talking lizard is like talking to him and trying to tell him like basically his story, and he keeps like saying I don't want to do that and throws the lizard away. Which like in normal circumstances would be pretty funny, but it just like, I don't know, just something about it just didn't sit right. I don't know. I don't know how to, I'm not an expert. Maybe you can tell me when you watch this, because I know you have more of a film critique mind and you understand jokes and stuff. But like just watching it, just something felt like, it's not
Just
funny.
didn't click.
Yeah.
I wonder if the manga does it any better, because I've heard at least that the jokes actually land in the manga.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of love for the manga, so maybe, you know what, don't bother watching this. It's basically like reading a manga anyway, because it's animated so poorly.
Yeah.
Just go ahead.
Cole. Yeah, just read the manga. Anyway, Cole.
Oh, my turn. Well, we're going to keep the disappointment train rolling, and I just watched The Maid I Hired is Mysterious.
Did you
watched-
now?
Boy.
Oh,
I've
did you
watched
now?
one episode of it, and it is meh to the nth degree.
Certified meh.
Supreme meh. It's basically, okay, in 24 minutes, it's basically the same joke over and over again. Boy thinks maid is mysterious. Boy accuses maid of doing something. Then the maid is like jokingly saying, haha, yes, I did. And then boy says, I knew it. This is why I'm so infatuated with you. And then the maid gets embarrassed. It was the same thing over and over again. Sorry for the spoilers, everyone. But that's the whole show.
I think with this
maybe
one,
things change. Maybe things change down the line. But episode 1 was not enough to claw its way into my attention span.
Yeah, but Lilith, best girl, so it doesn't
Not
matter.
even close.
which one's Lilith?
The main
maid.
girl.
Yeah.
Oh, the big booba maid.
Yeah. Best girl.
Yeah. Tan girl.
Yeah.
Like best girl in what? The show? Because yeah, I guess so.
No, of the season.
No, that's
Oh my
outrageous,
goodness.
Jay.
Jay.
That's outrageous. Jay, I know you've seen this, so you might have it sounds like you have a bit more of a positive take on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I really enjoyed it. Obviously, it's not going to change your life if you watch it. But, like, if as something to just, like, sit down, unwind, and watch, it's very entertaining, and it got me to buy the manga. So, honestly, it did its job. And that's really what it was meant to do. So,
Listen, I'm going to go out on a limb and just say it. Lilith is mid.
how dare you? How dare you? You know what?
Can we use a better word than mid?
No.
I don't like when people call people mid. Let's go
He's
with...
using the word mid purposefully because of that.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Because it
Exactly.
bothers me
That's
and
the
Jay.
point. Yeah.
Listen,
Oh.
in a show with Rie Takahashi and Sayori Hayami. Hayami? Is that
Hi.
Hayami.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, where those are the two mains, they deserve much better.
They deserved
Anyway.
everything that they got because that show is great.
Anyway, that's The Maid I Hired is Mysterious. You know what? I didn't like it, but I could see why people would. I'd probably suggest watching one episode. If you get a kick out of it. I mean, Jay liked it.
I did
So-
like it.
Yeah.
Let's say someone you was asking like what anime is it like? Like what kind of anime fan are you recommending it to then?
What's it like?
I'd say it's kind of like those shows where it's like, it's definitely not Takagi-san, but like shows
It's
like
kind of
that.
like Takagi.
So
Yeah.
like the teasing
It's
type show?
Yeah, it does have
Yeah.
that. It does have that.
But I don't know. Takagi's just got more charm to it. I don't know.
Takagi really is like, she teases him and then he blushes and then like, oh,
Also, they're
I
the
wanna
same
get her back.
age.
Yeah.
That was what kind of made this one weird just from like the outside to me is like, isn't she like an adult and he's like a small boy?
Yeah, he's just a small boy.
Yeah.
And she's a big girl.
The manga like
Quite
very
big.
lightly has touched why she like went to become his maid,
Oh,
but
I'm
Yeah.
sure that there's an explanation behind it, but
like
Of course.
there really
I'll
isn't
never know.
anything to know. I will report on this when I find out.
So
how about
one
you report on your
recommend-
next show?
Oh, good
No,
idea.
no, I'd recommend it. I would recommend
Oh,
it
okay.
because
Two
you might
recommends.
you might get something out of it. It just wasn't for me.
Speaking of things people wouldn't recommend, Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World.
Oh,
Do I even need to talk about this show?
this is
Yes.
Jay's seasonal pick that turns out to be a hentai.
yeah.
Why
This
does
is
this
this
keep
season-
happening to me?
Because you roll your dice on your very ecchi shows,
Yeah.
and sometimes this is how it be.
No, honestly,
It do be like that.
Yeah, you watch enough romance, ecchi anime, and eventually you get to
Accidental hentai.
get into the hentai. I mean, honestly,
Happens
there's
to the
really
best of
not
us.
much to talk about this. The title basically says it. This guy gets transported to another world, and basically, almost as soon as he gets into the other world, he meets up with this trader of inexcusable acts. I don't want to say the word. I'm trying not to say the word.
Human goods.
Yes, human goods. Thank you, Cole. And he sees one of these human goods and goes, "Oh, I want this human good for myself."
Why
How can
are we
I-
dancing around this? He's a slave trader.
Yeah,
she's a
Jay, it's
slave.
okay. You can. That's what the show does.
Yeah,
You're not
okay.
endorsing it.
All right.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Oh, I want this slave. How do I purchase her?" And then he starts killing bandits to earn enough money from their bounties to be able to purchase her, and then orders her to basically have sex with him.
So
that
in
is
other
the
words,
show.
very little redeeming qualities here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not much there.
I haven't held back on my distaste towards this show on Twitter, and I have not held, and will not hold back anymore. Guys, this show is absolute trash that deserves to burn in a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Throw it out. Don't even look at it.
Yeah.
Save yourself. I watched this for you. Please don't. If there's anything to take away from this show, from this episode of the podcast, please, I am begging you, do not watch this show.
You're my hero, Jay.
So that is a not recommend from Jay.
Oh God, no.
Well,
Mike, save us.
You know what? I haven't watched a single episode of it either, and I don't recommend it unless you're looking for a hentai. With
No,
very
even if you're
questionable
looking for
morals.
hentai, there's
Yeah,
other
even
stuff.
then.
There's better
Even then.
stuff.
Even then.
Even
something
then.
better. There's something better. I'm going to steal a pick from Cole for my next pick. I
dare
watched
you.
Futo Pie. And listen, guys, I was pretty impressed with it. I watched
really?
2.5 episodes. It's kind of confusing because I didn't realize that it is a sequel to a Kamen Rider live action movie that was never released in the West. So prepare to be
Oh,
a
that's
little
interesting.
confused. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, apparently it's Futo PI, like private investigator.
There you go. That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
That makes a ton of sense. Wow, we're not smart on this podcast.
Here's Jay
except for
teaching
Jay.
us
Yeah.
teaching us lessons.
Jay
So-
coming in with the with the hot goss.
Yeah. Jay, have you watched any of this one?
No, I saw a trailer for it at the Crunchyroll Expo because they showed it off during their industry panel, and it did not interest me at all.
You know what? I watched the 2 episodes of it, and honestly, it's pretty good. Like, it's animated really well. Everything looks good. It seems like a pretty like cool soundtrack to it. It's all like kind of like that like noir detective music kind of, but it's a little over the top. It reminds me a little bit of Bungo Stray Dogs if people like that. But like the only thing that it's like if you fused Bungo Stray Dogs with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is kind of the only way I can explain it. It is bizarre. Like,
That does sound very bizarre.
yeah, and then there's like
Doesn't
this
sound bad though.
No, it
it's-
doesn't
it's
sound bad.
actually
It just
kinda
sounds very
good.
weird.
It's weird. It's really weird. And there's only, I think, 3 episodes out as of recording because it aired really late.
Right.
But honestly, like, just watch one episode. You'll kind of get the vibe of the show and you'll be like, I'm into this or I'm not into this. And you'll know right away. Maybe, you know what? Maybe watch 2 because they don't really get into the Power Ranger stuff until like end of the 2nd episode.
Mike, have you watched Gridman or
No.
Dinosanon at all?
No,
Okay,
I
I was
haven't.
wondering if it's like similar to that.
I
By the way-
suspect it is. I suspect it is.
Just for clarification for everyone listening at home, every show we've mentioned so far is available on Crunchyroll, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
they are.
Okay.
I would, yeah, like I said, if you liked if you like that Super Sentai type stuff, or if you watched Kamen Rider, I would say you're right in line with this. Or if you liked the detective type shows that come out every season, or Bungo Stray Dogs, like it'd be worth checking this out. there's some cool characters. It's very slick. It's a little cheesy, but it knows it's cheesy, so it's good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure that's intentional with something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what that's all I got to say about this one. I would recommend it.
What studio is doing
Certain
this
people.
show? Do you know?
That one's Studio Kai.
Studio Kai?
And I only know that because I remembered that it was Futo Pie by Studio Kai, but then I realized I'm an idiot.
Well, it's okay.
I mean,
We're
it's
both
still
idiots.
Futo Pi by Studio Kai.
That sounds a little
Yeah,
not
it
as
still
good.
rhymes a little bit.
Yeah, it
Kind of
rhymes a
rhymes
little
like our
bit.
intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It rhymes, but it doesn't really rhyme, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was okay. It was good. You know what else is good?
What?
The next
My
anime
next
Cole's
pick.
going to talk about.
Yes, thank you.
Is it good?
This is I'm breaking off from the Crunchyroll shows to a High Dive exclusive. When will Ayamu make his move?
I need to know.
Yeah,
Well,
when?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I've only watched one episode of this because it's on High Dive, and High Dive, like, it's got to be really good to get me to keep up with something on High Dive.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Teaser.
For later.
Yep.
That is a very good tease for later.
Later on my list.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For you too. It's basically the manga.
Have you read the
kinda
manga?
Yeah. I'm current on the manga. Yeah.
Oh.
It's basically the manga again. So I think that's kind of why I'm not keeping up with it as religiously as some other stuff. It does exactly what the manga does, which is fine. It's good. I would recommend it if you haven't read the manga, because it's a sweet, cute show.
Yeah.
But if you've read the manga, I'd say just stick with the manga. It's fine.
Okay.
Not much to say about it on that
It-
one.
It's pretty 1-to-1, is what I'm understanding.
Yeah, like it's not doing anything special. Like there's some shows. Sorry, I think I just bumped my mic. There's some shows that I'm going to talk about later that adapt a manga, but adapt it in a unique
enhance it?
way.
Yeah.
And enhance
Yeah.
it and
Yeah.
does things differently. Actually, and then I've got another adaptation that does things differently that kind of enhances in some ways.
Like Spy Family last season really enhanced its manga. So
Kaguya-sama too, right?
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
Kaguya-sama. It's all those like asides that are like, you can tell like the animators are
they really cared.
they're doing something different.
Yeah.
There's the story, which is already established, and then I'm adding to that in ways that only animation can do.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this to someone like me who has never watched any of Takagi-san type stuff
Yeah.
or read it or anything like that? Would someone like me enjoy that? Just a simpleton like me?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's just your classic slice of life romance.
Okay.
So if
It's
people
it's not like a really good slice of life romance like Toradora is, but it's not terrible either. I think
So
it's worth your time.
if someone didn't read manga, would you recommend it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if somebody hasn't read the manga, I would say give it a shot. If you have read the manga, I'd say just give it a shot, but I'd say the manga's fine. You're not missing any.
Yeah.
You're not missing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Speaking of shows that you haven't missed much, I'm going to talk about Black Summoner. This is another one of my picks, and boy,
what?
is it rough.
I haven't even heard people talk about the show. You're the first person I've heard talk about it.
Jay was the first person I heard talk about it, and he's still the only person I've heard talk about it.
It's very rough. So to summarize the plot a little bit, Kelvin gets reincarnated into this fantasy world by a goddess who
His name's Calvin?
Huh?
His name's Calvin?
Calvin,
Calvin?
like
Kelvin.
the measurement of temperature.
Oh, okay. I
yeah.
was like, that's a weird name for anime. I'm sorry.
So, he gets reincarnated in another world by this goddess, and he basically says, like, I want to be able to summon you, and to be able to do that, I'll sacrifice my memories of my previous life. So he does, and that happens, and he becomes a summoner, and it's basically his life in this new world as a summoner, being able to summon different things. Like he gets a slime that's honestly really cute, and a knight that is very strong, and different things. It's your typical isekai adventure, but the animation, there's like one big fight in episode 2, and they go straight up CG, and it looks awful.
Oh,
there's other shows that do CG that
yes,
can be forgiven.
But like it's noticeably like it transitioned from 2D to CG.
Oh, yeah.
And
for example, my previous one that I talked about, Futo PI, like all the bike and fight scenes are CG, and it blends pretty well.
Yeah, no,
like they actually
this
managed
is
to pull off the 2D character with the CG in the same frame, and it doesn't look that jarring.
Oh, okay.
So just a quick question, Jay. You mentioned that part of his being reincarnated in another world was him giving up his memories of the old world.
Yeah.
Does he get those memories back?
As of what I've seen, no.
Then
but
what's the point of making it an isekai? Right?
I don't
Can
know.
it just be a fantasy?
Like I honestly
just for the
don't know.
towels?
We're so obsessed with making isekais. Like, just make a fantasy. Like,
I
Berserk's
think,
not
honestly,
an isekai.
Honestly,
And
I wouldn't
Berserk
be
is a
surprised.
great fantasy show.
I wouldn't be surprised if the idea behind it was, I need to figure out how to start this story. Oh, let's make it an isekai. Perfect.
Yeah,
But
probably.
I feel like that's just a critique on like a lot of isekais these days. Is like, why even have it as an isekai? Like,
Yeah.
skip the first 5 minutes and it's the same story.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
changes.
I'm not necessarily like trying to single out the show. I'm just making an observation on.
No, like honestly, he could get his memories back, but I don't know because
Maybe later on, yeah.
maybe later on.
Yeah.
Like it might come into play, but I don't know.
So
As
I'm a
of now.
filthy shonen normie.
Yes.
When I look at this show, it kind of seems like just your typical like shonen. Like it's not going to do anything great, but it's not going to be like boring. It's something you could just put on and like not pay attention almost. Does it kind of fit that bill?
Pretty much. Like
filler Naruto level?
basically, honestly, I'd say like underneath, like beneath filler Naruto. It like
Okay.
It's very vanilla isekai. If you like isekai, then give it a shot because you like isekai.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something that that separates itself from the pack. It's definitely like trying to follow a mold that isekai kind of created when it began. So if you like isekai, this is another show for you to watch this season. But if you don't, then this isn't going to change your mind.
It's rated 70% on AniList, so it's not, people aren't hating it.
It's not
for what it's
terrible.
worth.
Yeah. No, it's it's not an awful show. It's just like there's better stuff.
Yeah.
There's definitely better stuff.
There's better isekai.
It's not bottom of the barrel, but it's not the top.
Yeah. It's just kind of like mixed in with the rest of the crowd.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of shows that are mixed in with the rest of the crowd, Mike, I think you have another show. I
do. I'm going to talk about my show that I picked to watch this season, known as Yurei Deko by Science Saru. I picked this show because it looked unique and interesting. Like the art style is very like there's pretty much nothing that looks like this show, I don't think.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything. And I was intrigued by finding out that it's also a take on help me out here, Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah.
Huckleberry Finn, yep. So I watched a bit of this show. I think I've watched 4 or 5 episodes now, and I subsequently also listened to the entire audiobook of Huckleberry Finn too in preparation for this.
Okay.
And I have no idea what they have to do with each other than the main characters' names are Hackberry and Finn, because the main character is a hacker in this world. And it's like a weird take on, they live in like a society where everyone's worth is determined through love, which is kind of like Instagram likes or like stuff like that. And everything they do can be bought with these likes. It's really, there's a lot going on. They have these little like implants in their eyes that let them see like virtual augmented reality and stuff. And then if it malfunctions,
so is it trying to be like a commentary on social media or?
Yes. Yeah. It's more a commentary on social media than anything Huckleberry Finn was.
Okay.
So if you're into something very off the beaten path and weird and like just not going to do what you expect it to do, this is definitely something I'd say to check out. Like if you like Science Saru stuff, this is going to be, it's kind of par for the course.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, I know Science Saru like does out there stuff like Trigger does, but like, is the animation good?
It's pretty good. A lot of it is a weird mix of like, it's almost like that very cell shaded CG, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I think at least. I think it looks good and the action's interesting and there's lots of cool like because it's augmented reality, there's like scenes where they'll just like literally they'll be walking through the street and it's like, I don't like the way this looks right now, and then they just like hit a switch and all the scenery changes like to a different style. Cool. It's neat to watch. Like I'm not sure why people aren't liking it very much.
I don't know if I don't know if it's just in my head, like the concept is cool but not in execution, but it does seem like a cool idea at least.
It is definitely a cool idea, and I think where it probably loses people is the first 2 episodes are just like solid exposition.
Okay. So it's just a big exposition dump.
Yeah, and I think it's just not a great start, and then it kind of just like, then it starts rolling and it's a little more interesting and palatable. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to continue watching this one. I would say if you're going to try this one, if you're down to try something new and interesting and thought-provoking a little bit, watch it. And make sure you watch at least 3 episodes. If you don't like it after episode 3, you can skip this one.
Okay. Speaking of shows not to skip, Cole, do you have a show you want to talk about?
Maybe you have to skip my show, Jay.
Oh.
What about that? Spoiler alert, you don't have to skip it. It's pretty good. I'm going to talk about Ruby Ice Queendom.
Ooh.
It's Ruby. It's definitely missing some of the charm of the old Ruby, and not in the sense that like, it's old Ruby looks terrible and this one looks too good. I think what it's missing is a lot of the like jokes from the original Ruby. Like it was very well. It was made for a comedy website, right?
Yeah. Do you remember what the original creator's name is? I
not
can't
off the
remember.
top of my head.
No, I wonder if because he did pass away, unfortunately, but I wonder if, like, because he didn't have any creative input on it, it just kind of, like, went in its own direction rather than
possibly
sticking as true as possible to the original.
Possibly, but where it does lack in that stuff, it makes up for in incredible action animation. Its action scenes are second to none.
And it's Shaft,
would recommend
right?
it. And it's Shaft. I'd recommend it. It's good. Yeah. Ruby in her little winter hat is a figure I must purchase.
Do they even have one of those?
Oh, I'm sure they will.
It will exist.
It will exist soon.
Yeah. I'm forgetting how popular Ruby is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When we were at Icon, there was so many Ruby figures, and they were expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Very pricey.
Yeah. It's the perfect mix of niche and also desirable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's entertaining. Yeah, I'd recommend Ice Queendom. Generally, no caveats to that. I'd recommend it. It's a good time. One thing I will say is maybe a bit of a caveat. It doesn't go against my recommendation, but some of the non-action animation is pretty rough.
Okay, so they save their budget for the action.
When they're talking? Or?
Yeah. But I mean, if you're a Ruby fan, then you're used to bad animation anyway. So.
And I mean,
fair.
When characters are talking, you don't really need stellar animation, right?
No, you don't. But I mean, it certainly helps.
Yeah, it definitely
certainly
helps. No, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I gotta say about Ruby Ice Queendom. Mike or Jay, what do you have to say about your next program?
My next program. This was the show that this was my new anime pick from for summer. This is Engage Kiss, and boys,
that kiss.
This is a beautiful looking, boring mess.
Oh
no!
It looks really good, and I love the character designs, but man, am I bored. Basically, you're in this world where demons are attacking Japan, and there are people that take contracts to go hunt them out, and the main character has a contract with a demon to be able to fight these other demons. And then there's like a whole other like plot behind it, and there's more details to the contract that he has with the demon girl, and why he gets powers when they kiss. But it's so boring. It's so boring. So, like, what exactly is so boring to you about this one? It's just like
nothing happens?
Nothing really happens. It kind of like works on a Monster of the Week kind of format, with like the B plot being the main plot, if that makes sense.
Okay.
like the B plot of every episode is essentially the through line of the plot of the show.
Okay.
Where the A plot is the monster of the week. And a lot of what happens, whether it be fights or like chase scenes or whatever, the characters are just talking and dishing out exposition. And that's most of the show.
Oh, yeah.
So, I feel like this show is a very good example of like saying instead of doing. And why
just lots
that's
of exposition.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if there were actions in the show that conveyed to us what was going on rather than people talking about it, then it would probably be a lot better. But as it stands, they're just all sitting around talking, or while they're fighting, they're talking to each other, or like while something big is going on, they're talking about it because they have to get a lot of information out. But
sounds like a lot of talking and not enough kissing to me.
yeah. Stop talking. Let's kiss.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jay.
Whoa. Like right now?
Yes.
Oh goodness.
Oh, it's very sudden.
Yeah. Can we finish
Yes.
recording this first?
Yeah, let's finish recording first
No.
before we engage the kiss.
No, right now.
The
Mike and
characters at
I-
least look interesting in this one.
Yeah,
but-
no, like I said, the character designs are actually pretty good, and the animation, it's the same animation and the same animators that worked on SAO Season 3. So if you...
A1, right?
Yeah, it's A1. And like the people that worked at A1 that worked on SAO worked on this. So if you know what SAO looked like and moved like, then you'll know what this is like.
I wish I didn't.
SAO looks and moves nicely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just taking a shot at SAO for no reason. I take it back.
Take it back.
No, like
Take
I
it back.
said, it's
Hey,
it's
how about
it's
that
a nice
trade Jay made me in Mudai? Did you see that, Michael?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, we'll talk about that after. He traded Asuna for some nobody.
He traded you Asuna?
If
Yeah,
you
for, like-
if you want to know more, come join our Discord.
Come join our
Yes.
Discord and play Mudai with us and give
Yeah.
me... No, and then get very good characters from Jay for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. You can just rip Jay off. Come to our Discord to rip Jay off.
And you call me the villain.
Yeah.
No.
No.
You're... Yeah.
Shazaina's the villain, for sure.
Yeah, you might be like
Yeah.
one of those cartoony like...
Yeah.
Your Team Rocket.
Yeah,
you're
I'm
like
the
Team
imbecile
Rocket.
that thinks he's the villain.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of thinking you're the villain, Mike, I think you have a show you want to talk about.
No, Jay,
I
it was
do.
right there. It was right there. Can
Oh.
I redo your segue?
Yeah.
Speaking of imbeciles, Michael, what's your next show?
My next show, it actually kind of fits because the next one's kind of about an imbecile. And it's not just me who's the imbecile this time.
me
I'm going
too.
to talk about Uncle from Another World, or Isekai something. I forget what it's called. I don't know why I even tried
Ooh,
to say
yes,
it. I
I've
forgot
heard
it
it.
halfway as I was talking.
I've heard this show's like
I've seen
very
screenshots
popular.
of this show.
It's like Isekai Yakoku or something. I don't remember. But anyway, this show, it's on Netflix, by the way. It is airing weekly on Netflix.
Wow,
Well, Violet
that
Evergarden
something?
did that.
Isn't that something?
that's
Let's
something.
do that, Disney Plus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Disney
attention.
Plus.
But anyway, I started watching this one because I was basically just before I wanted to do this episode, I wanted to quickly patrol the Annie list and kind of just like get an idea of what people are watching that we aren't watching, so we could have an opinion on it. And I saw this
Yeah.
one's actually rated fairly highly. I think it's like 77%. It's pretty up there in terms of this season.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about this show and liking it. So
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. Basically, this guy wakes up out of a coma and his nephew's there waiting for him, and he's like, "Oh, you woke up," and blah blah blah. And then the uncle starts talking gibberish because he's been trapped in an isekai world for 17 years, and he's finally made his way back, but he still retains his abilities to like some of his abilities from the other world.
yes,
That's
And-
the most interesting take on an isekai I've ever heard. No,
It's-
no joke.
It's very interesting.
It's
I
so
like that.
interesting.
So he just comes back, like the isekai adventure like happened elsewhere, and now he's just coming back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was in a coma for 17 years, and then now he completed the quest he needed to finish in the isekai world, and now he's just back.
That's
and he
so
wakes
cool.
up. Yeah. And he's like, it's weird too, because like he's obsessed with Sega. And the show is actually officially sponsored by Sega. So when he wakes up, one of the first things he does is like go out and he like looks up whatever happened in this poll for this best Sega game of the year he was isekai'd. And there's just weird stuff going on. And like, I don't know. Watch the show. This one's definitely a recommend from me. Like I actually laughed several times per episode.
The animation in it too is like low-key gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. It's weird too because the animation. So if you like that video game aesthetic, lots of the times when he's talking about his memories, it's like a video game aesthetic to it, and the OP is like awesome too. It's very video gamey, but like in the real world, everyone looks kind of like, I want to say like ugly a little bit. Like they have like this weird like sketchy way that they look, and then whenever he looks back into his memories from the isekai world, it looks like Mushoku Tensei but like way cheaper animated. Like it has like that classic isekai look to it, and everyone's all smooth and pretty.
So like kind of like a dream world versus reality.
Yeah, it's a cool. Cole, you'd like this one. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I feel like Cole would like this show.
It's a super smart show too.
Honestly, Mike, I'm just gonna say I've seen screenshots of the characters in the real world, and I don't know why you're calling them ugly. The real world looks so cool in the screenshots that I've seen.
It looks cool, but like there's a sketchy style to it, and it's kind of a little bit janky.
We'll agree to disagree on that one. I think it's very pretty.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick this up.
You should.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. Yeah.
Watch one episode. I've watched 2.5 episodes of this show, and I'd say if you've watched one episode and you don't like it, you don't have to watch anymore. And
Mike,
that's on Netflix, airing weekly.
Do you watch half an episode at a time?
No, I watched half an episode before we recorded, and then I came to record. So
do you get?
You've had a couple of shows where you're like, I've watched 2.5 episodes.
Yeah, I think the other one was Futo Pi or Pi, and I basically I watched it, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stop and watch the next thing, so I'm running out of time for today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all because of the podcast.
Do either of you guys watch your anime at 1.5 speed?
No, I'm not a monster.
Yeah, no, I can hardly keep up with the subtitles as it is.
Yeah. Jay, do you watch your anime at 1.5 speed?
Oh no.
Oh,
I just heard that some anime reviewers do that because they just want to like get it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not to take a shot at the maid I hired as mysterious, but I wish I watched that one at 1.5 speed.
Wow.
I feel like if I was forced to watch some of these, I would. I think.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I'd watch Engage Kiss at 1.5 speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Cole, what wouldn't you watch at 1.5 speed?
Well, let me tell you, the dark horse, or what I thought was the dark horse until you were telling me about Uncle from Another World, Licorice Recoil.
Yeah.
Yes, that show is gorgeous. Everything, like, I don't know. The studio that animated this is top tier. Like, everything that they do in it, all of the... I'm struggling to find words. All of the like incidental animation, like just the way the characters move and everything is so lifelike and realistic, and like they put care into like how the clothes move and how a person's hands would move in a real situation.
Interesting.
Yeah, and let me tell you, boys, in any other season, best girl of the season is Chisato from this. Unfortunately, there's another girl this season that is, I mean, ran away with it.
We'll get there.
But, like, it's very good. Basically, quick rundown of the premise of it. These girls are, like, secret agents, kind of. Secret police kind of thing. But, like, not in that bad sense. Like, they're protecting people from behind the scenes. And, it's kind of moe action. It's fun.
This is one I've seen a lot of clips on Twitter as well, and it does seem very interesting. Like that,
yeah.
And it, like you said, it looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And it's not an adaptation; it's an original, from what I understand.
That's right.
They announced that they're releasing a manga. Later based on this.
But this is another A1 Pictures original, so
we found out where their budget and effort went.
Yeah. Well, no. Engage Kiss looks good, just the story's not good.
Well, the animation... How's the animation in that one? Because let me tell you, this is probably the best animated show of the season. for me.
It's pretty good. Like, I mean,
I don't mean like the drawings are nice. I mean animation.
No, I know, I know.
Move. Yeah.
I know. Like, it's not bad.
Looks very fluid.
Yeah. Like, I probably not like the best thing this season, but it's good. It's good.
This one is rated 81%, which might be the highest this season, other than another show I'm going to talk about later. And Engage Kiss is rated 68% for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Just a quick taste of
because
the
it's
temperatures
boring.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, big recommendation from me. Lots of fun. It's nice to have some like original anime.
I'm going to pick this one up. It's just I've been waiting for the dub to come out for it because I'm filthy dub watcher.
Don't watch the dub. Just watch the sub.
I know.
Their voices
I'm going to
are
have
so,
to.
Chisato's voice is so sweet.
Yeah.
Gives me diabetes.
Yeah. Did you say where this one's airing? Is this Crunchyroll as well?
Crunchyroll. Yeah, Crunchyroll as well.
Yeah. Speaking of shows on Crunchyroll, I've got another sugary sweet show for you, The Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. This show came at me from out of nowhere, delivered an elbow from the top rope, and hit me right in the heart.
People's elbow strikes again.
I know, right? So basically, the premise of this show is Kirishima is like he's a Yakuza, and he's someone who will basically attack people unhinged, and like he can go a bit far with how he deals with things. So like he'll dramatically beat people up and like stuff like that, and other like families are kind of scared of him because he's a bit brutal. And so his boss, the head of the Yakuza family, gives Kirishima his daughter to look after, and kind of babysit while the boss is like doing other things, and basically says like, if you don't do this, I will kill you. So now we've got this brutal mobster and a little girl, and the mobster is kind of like teaching her life, and it sounds very weird, but it has a very good like sweetness and lightning kind of vibe, where it's like he's learning how to be gentler, and she's kind of learning how to grow up, and she's kind of like growing up and getting the parenting that she never had from him.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like mutually learning from each other and growing from each other.
So who would you say this anime is for then?
If you like shows that are just like good comfort, just like make you feel all warm in your old kokoro, and just,
it is an old kokoro at this point.
Yeah. You just wanna sit down, watch a show, and unwind. This is the show for you. It's so sweet. It's so heartwarming, and like honestly, the show made me tear up a couple times, which I guess isn't really it doesn't say much, but compared to every other show I watched this season, this is the only show that has done that so far. So
yeah, that's kind of a praise in itself right there, I'd say.
Yeah.
So you're gonna continue this one, I take it?
I'm absolutely gonna continue this one. It's adorable. It's very heartwarming, and it's just good fun. I'd recommend the show to basically anyone who likes those kind of things.
Speaking of adorable and heartwarming, Michael, what's next on your list? Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was me.
Michael, what's next on your list?
No, I thought you were just talking about me as a person. Speaking of being a fool, am I supposed to say what my actual prediction, my new prediction for anime this season is last? Or the one I did?
It's
the one that you did was last.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. So I'm going to
talk about... Spoilers,
I
guess, for what?
I'm going to talk about a little show called Made in Abyss Season 2, Journey to the Golden City of the Scorching Sun. And I feel like there should be more to this title, but that's it.
Yeah, that's a mouthful as it is.
Yeah.
Is it a light novel?
No, it's a webtoon or something, right? Like it's like a web comic.
It should be a light novel with that title.
Yeah. This show is so friggin' good, but it is so hard to watch sometimes because it's so brutal. It's like in this season, there's a scene where like one of those little cute stuffy characters there is like who's like dear to one of the main characters, just like this other creature will like grab it and they're like, oh, they're petting it. It's so nice. And then they start squeezing it and the eyes and like guts start popping out. And you're like, oh no, that beloved character just got crushed to death before my eyes.
Oh God.
This show is not nice to watch.
Guess I got to watch it now.
But it is so good to watch. And like, they're kind of getting into the second season kind of takes place in this, I think it's the 6th layer, and it's kind of mirroring a little bit of, there's a team that went down there before a long time ago, before the current what's their name, Cole, help me out here, what's the little girl's name with Reg?
I don't remember
The little blonde girl. They're going down to the bottom of the abyss trying to find her mom, but there's also this team that like was the first team to go down into the abyss, and they kind of stopped in this 6th layer in this golden city, and it's kind of like uncovering some of the mysteries of the abyss right now, and it's very interesting if you care about the lore of this show, but it is a lot to take in. Sometimes it's one of those shows where like if you look away for a second, you're kind of like, wait, what happened? And there's so much exposition, but it's like good exposition, if that makes sense. Highly recommend if you're into Made in Abyss and you can stomach all the questionable and like uncomfortable bits of it, definitely recommend. I will be continuing, and I don't know why you wouldn't either, and I guess unless you don't want that, pretty much everything that makes Made in Abyss
good,
so memorable. Yeah.
No,
I plan on binging this.
Me too.
Your brains will melt.
I haven't seen season 1 yet, so I'm gonna binge it all.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Jay, you got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah,
honestly,
I do.
That's more
but
doable.
I'm looking forward to it.
Because the first season's kind of like, you can watch the movies and it's like a nice little adventure. Well, nice is an interesting word to use.
A nice little adventure.
Yeah, you basically have 3 movies. The first season, and then the movie that takes place in between the first and second season, and then the second season. Yeah. And this is by far the heaviest, I would say.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm looking forward to. I like sometimes I like shows that just get like really nitty gritty and dark.
Oh,
and,
okay.
That's what from my understanding this show is. So I'm looking forward to giving it a go.
For sure. So, and that's available on High Dive. I don't think I mentioned, and so it's kind of not super accessible.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. Cole, tell us about your next pick.
My next pick is Overlord Season 4. I stole this one from Michael. We traded, actually, I guess, technically.
Sort of.
Overlord. If you like Overlord, you will enjoy this. Not much more to say about that. Ainz and co are having a good time being the strongest around.
Yeah. At this point,
no one's going to ever keep them down.
If you've watched 3 seasons of Overlord, you're going to watch the 4th, right?
Yeah.
You're along for the ride at this point.
If you're interested in season 4, that means that you've watched 3 other seasons, so I recommend it to those of you. I recommend just watching it all. Overlord's good.
Yeah.
Overlord is... Probably try watching it by next week, by the way, because we will be reviewing Overlord next week on the pod.
That's correct. Michael.
Yes. Mike, we had the same thought. I was thinking of how I should plug it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The ones that I picked here are pretty well self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Watch it. It's good.
I feel like that's why we start with like the lesser known stuff first, because it takes more explaining and pitching, whereas you're just saying like, you like Overlord already, just watch more Overlord.
Exactly.
What else do you say? Yeah.
Jasif.
Jay, hi. My second to last show that I would definitely recommend is Parallel World Pharmacy. This is a new show that also took me by surprise this season, and it's probably the best isekai show this season. Basically, the main character is in his previous life, he was a renowned I don't know the word.
Pharmacist?
I guess, but like he makes drugs, and they use a different word, but like using that root. But anyway, he makes like he's a doctor essentially, and he, overworking himself, passes away after like taking a rest from his job, and wakes up in the body of a kid named Pharma, who is the son of a well-renowned doctor.
Pharmacologist was the word you were looking for.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. So in this new world, medicine isn't as advanced as it was in his previous life, and there are a lot of other diseases going around, and Pharma now has these new powers that he obtained in this new world that can basically help him not just make the medicine, because he has magic that can create any substance he knows the chemical what's the word
composition?
I'm looking for? Thank you. Composition of. My brain is falling apart. The chemical composition of. And he also has, like, this magical eye that can see various ailments that people have and can identify what the problem is, which I think is pretty cool. So, like, essentially, it's a doctor in another world practicing medicine and helping advance medicine in this new world.
Didn't they just do this, like, last season?
Did they?
Wasn't that a show? There was a
I feel
pharmacist.
like it was. Yeah.
There was like there was a pharmacy show, like, I think it was like they were just like running a pharmacy, and that was it was kind of like a slice of life thing.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
This feels more learned a bit. Like, it feels like they're actually like talking about medical issues and things like that, which I think is pretty interesting. And like I don't know, like, this is coming from someone who hasn't studied medicine, so like I could just be talking out of my ass here, but it does feel like the author at least either did research or knows what they're talking about when they're looking into these illnesses. So I thought it was really interesting, and just seeing Pharma come up with medicines that he's known in his previous life and is now reutilizing here is really interesting to watch, and I really enjoy it. So if you like, this is how I pitched it to one of my friends. It feels like anime Dr. House.
Oh, cool.
Is the best way to describe it, and I really enjoyed it. So if you like that kind of thing, definitely give it maybe 2 episodes or 3 episodes.
And where can they do that?
They can do that on Crunchyroll. All of my shows are on Crunchyroll, so yeah.
Very nice.
Speaking of a Crunchyroll show, Mike, I think you have another show to talk about.
Yes. My anime of the season prediction several weeks ago, Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2. It is quite good. It's just kind of more of if you've watched the first season, it's kind of just more of that, except it gets a lot less episodic and more like cutesy, as they're just kind of taking care of this little baby. It's I don't
just
really
a little
think
baby.
there's a little baby, and there's plots that are going on. This one, I will stick my fist out and pound the table and say, listen, guys, watch this one dubbed. The dub is really good for this one. It is worth it. I think maybe what makes it so popular for me is that it has such a good dub. As I was watching it, I was kind of thinking to myself, like, you know what? I wonder if people don't like this because the sub isn't as good as the dub. And I went and watched a couple clips of it, and honestly, the sub is not as good. So
bold take from
bold take.
Very bold take from the dub watcher.
I know it. Like in the
we're getting letters for that.
I know. I was watching.
I
and
have like
I had
piles
to stop it.
just in the other room.
I had to stop it and show my wife, because there was a scene where what's the red-haired girl's name?
Emmy.
Emmy, yeah. They're like taking the little girl to the roller coasters, and she's like arguing and trying to use these coupons at the thing, and then they get on the Ferris wheel or whatever. And then in the dub, one of the attendants is like, "Oh, enjoy your ride," and then as soon as she's out of earshot, he just is like mouths to himself. He's like, "What a Karen." And it's just like those little like one-off lines that are so funny. I don't know. It's really funny watching the dub on this one. If you like the Kaguya-sama dub, it's kind of the same thing.
From what I've heard about this show, the animation isn't that great.
No, I think it takes a nosedive after a couple episodes. I hear they outsourced a couple things.
It's a new studio, right?
It is a new studio, yes.
Yeah.
It was White Fox or something, and now it's 3 Hertz. So
yeah, White Fox doesn't do that much anymore. It's kind of sad, because they
Yeah.
have some really great shows under the belt.
Don't they just do ReZero?
ReZero, they did Steins Gate, they did they kind of
now, like, that's all that they do is ReZero.
Yeah.
Which is
if you like
fine.
the first season, if you like the first season, watch this. You probably will. It's kind of the same thing. It's funny. It's worth
They
watching.
also they also provide help, but they're never like the main studio on a show. But anyway, sorry.
We'll talk about that on the Studio White Fox podcast.
Yes.
This one's available on Crunchyroll, sub and dub. Watch it if you want. I'd say watch the first season. If you like it, keep watching because it's more of the same.
Yeah.
Cole, tell us about your next anime.
My last one that we're talking about was my pick for anime of the season, and it is called Call of the Night, and it is terrific, worth the admission for High Dive. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Jay.
Yes.
So you're going to answer the call of the night is what you're saying.
I am, and I am here for it. Everything... this show is so good. This is the definition of taking a manga that is already good and then just adding to it to make it better. It does things in anime that can't be done in manga form, with the use of color and the use of just different framing and character movements and stuff. Big recommendation. Nazuna, best girl of the season, possibly of the year. Let's go. I won't listen to Jay talk about anything else.
No, Nazuna sucks.
This show is not... it's not the best animated show of the season, but it might be the prettiest, if that makes sense.
It's the best directed show of the season.
For sure. Yeah.
Yes.
And like how they handle the night and stuff, and how it all, like all the purples and yellows and stuff, it looks so nice. It's refreshing. This is a refreshing show.
You can tell it's the same director as like Monogatari. It's
100%.
All those like tracking shots up to like somebody's face.
Yeah.
It screams Monogatari.
Yeah, and all the cuts and stuff too.
Oh, it's perfect. There are no shots in it that are just like boring to look at. Everything. Establishing shots are like beautiful. Just characters talking always have something interesting in the way that they're framed. Mm-hmm. It just scratches all those itches and all
scratches
in my brain.
The wrinkles of your brain. Yeah, I like it.
I think you just like the the Monogatari director.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I like that stuff. That's the stuff I'm looking for more than action or anything like that. It's just tell me a cool story in an interesting way.
Yeah. And a well-directed show.
Yeah.
Speaking of well-directed, interesting
possibly
shows.
well-directed shows. You got one more show to tell us about.
Yes. I'm going to talk about my pick from a couple weeks ago for anime of the season for summer. That was Classroom of the Elite Season 2. And, man, I really wanted this show to be good. I really wanted Season 2 to be good. But just like compared to the light novel, it just falls flat.
Almost like the first season did?
The first season did that, yes. Yeah. So,
That's a shame.
Yeah. Mike, I know you started watching Season 2. How do you feel about it not knowing about the light novel?
Well, see, here's the thing. I haven't actually started watching Season 2.
Oh, you haven't?
So this is awkward.
Oh. Because I know you posted in our Discord like a picture from it, and I thought like,
no, I saw a meme on the internet where someone posted a picture. It was a screenshot of I think the latest episode where just people running, and one of them is running literally on top of the other person.
Yeah,
they didn't crop it properly.
Yeah, it looks very janky. And like this is another show they outsourced a lot of it to other studios. Like this show is very rough, and it really hurts because I really like the light novel.
I think we're still feeling some of the COVID impacts of like staff shortage and stuff. I think
probably.
So are you going to continue, or do you recommend this to people who liked season 1?
I'm going to continue. If you liked season 1, you're probably still going to like season 2 because it's the same director and the same all that. But if you are a fan of the light novel, you're probably not going to enjoy it. So kind of take it as you see it. If you like the light novel, keep reading the light novel. If you liked season 1, you're going to like season 2.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think about just running through our, if we still think that our picks of the season are what we think will be anime of the season?
Okay, so just to remind you guys, we did new anime of the season and anime of the season. There were 2 separate categories.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your guys's, now that you've watched stuff, we have an idea of everything. What do you think your new anime pick of the season will be? So this is not including sequels then.
Yeah.
Cole,
Do
you
I-
go first.
Oh, I think it's pretty obvious.
Call of the Night.
Call of the Night. I'm not changing my answer on that one. It's
Okay.
good. Very, very good. It was made for me.
In the Abyss?
What's your new anime this season?
My new anime of the season, Parallel World Pharmacy. This season has been very odd for me. I came in looking forward to the sequels, and it's all the new stuff that's starting to interest me. And Parallel World Pharmacy is just the show that, like, really, really grabbed me. But yeah, I really like it. Mike, what was your new pick?
My new pick, I think it might have been Licorice Recoil. I remember I changed it last minute, but I don't remember what I changed it to. And I think I might just stick with that because it seems like people are liking it and I know I'm going to like it when I watch it.
Bold take from Michael, not even watching an episode.
Not even watching, but I just have a feeling.
Not even having seen an episode.
It looks so good, though.
General anime of the season, then. I'm sticking to my guns as well, again. And Call of the Night is clean sweeping for me. It will win all the awards for me. All the accolades. It's
Bold.
very
What if it
good.
just takes a nosedive? Jay, what's your
mine,
straight up anime of the season?
My anime of the season, and this is probably not a surprise considering how I've been talking, but it has been a big toss-up for the past couple weeks between Parallel World Pharmacy and Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. Both shows are very good and for very different reasons. Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting is just like a very comfy show, and Parallel World Pharmacy is a very interesting look into like the medicinal world and that kind of thing. And at the end of the day, Parallel World Pharmacy won out for me, as Mike is currently typing out Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting in the doc. I don't know what to say. Like, I mean, I came into this week's episode thinking like, yeah, Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting is going to be my favorite show, but no, it's Parallel World Pharmacy. I'm looking at
Yaku World Pharmacitting.
yeah. I'm looking at Yaku World Pharmacitting, and it's yikes.
I couldn't
But
really
no.
figure out what where he was gonna come down when he finally decided to pick one. So I just wrote both in one word. I wrote Raku World Pharmacist or something. So
But Mike,
you're also going for a clean sweep. Parallel
Yep.
World Pharmacy for both. I'm gonna stick with, or I'm gonna change mine actually. I said Devil is a Part-Timer season 2, and my new pick for anime of the season is Made in Abyss. Devil is a Part-Timer is good, but it's definitely going a little downhill from season 1. It's not quite as good. Mm-hmm. Whereas honestly, when I look at my list, the only one of these shows that I'm actually psyched for every week is probably Made in Abyss.
Yeah.
And when I peek over to Cole's list there, I do see a nice show called Call of the Night, which I would consider. But I'm gonna go with Made in Abyss. It's just truer to my heart.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be fun if we all picked Call of the Night, even though that is the correct answer.
No.
Yes.
No, it is not
Yeah.
the correct answer.
What do you say
Anyway.
we get the heck out of here, guys?
Yeah, I gotta
Yes, I think that's a good idea. And I also want to hear what everyone else's picks for anime of the season is, and they can
So far.
do that. Yes, they can do that at our Twitter. You can follow Anime Protagonist Podcast on Twitter at AniProPod. That's ANIPROPOD. You can follow me, Cole, on Twitter. My Twitter is at AniProCole, ANIPROCOLE. Jay, what's your Twitter?
You can follow me at JGaredian, JayGareedian, and Mike, where can they find you?
Listen, find me at Gritty Gundam, GrittyGundam on Twitter.
That's
And also follow
right.
the podcast on Instagram at AniProPod as well.
Ah, yes. Michael's
Yes.
Baby, the
My
Instagram
baby.
project.
Michael's
Yeah.
child.
Yes. And like, review, subscribe, no matter where you're listening to us, whether it's YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you are. Leave
love you.
good reviews. We like it. It helps us
Yes.
out a lot.
Yes.
And come to
Yes.
our Discord to play Mudai and rip Jay off because he loves it. Links to all of our stuff is in our link tree. That's linkter.ee/AniProPod. And next time on the podcast, we talked about it earlier, we are reviewing season 1 of Overlord. So make sure that you all watch it before next week. But before next week, we say, as we do at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist podcast, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.